If you clicked on this video today, you're probably interested in creating levels in Unreal Engine 5. What we're going to be doing is learning the fastest and easiest method to do this, so let's get started. So the footage you see in the background is a level I just created in around 10 minutes time, and this is thanks to using the block out method, and this is basically what every developer uses in level design. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So if we just go to the modeling mode by pressing Shift and 5 on your keyboard, and if it's not enabled, you need to go to your plugins and enable modeling mode, but I'm pretty sure it is enabled by default nowadays. And then we need to go to cube grid, and when we hover over any cube in our map, we can actually click and just drag, and it'll do this kind of weird orange highlight around all the cubes in our map. So what we can actually do is, once we select and highlight a few cubes, I'm just going to do 10 by 10 here, just like this. If we press E on our keyboard, it'll extrude it or pull it just like this, and we can create something like kind of like a tower. So let's just do that. I'm going to go up by 20, so I'm just going to press E 20 times and that'll make us a little tower. But that is not what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to cut out the middle parts. We actually make this into like a actual building. So if we just select the top just like this and press Q, it'll remove all the squares in the middle of the building. And the same thing for the door. So if we just select these 6 cubes, press Q, it'll remove them all, and we just keep pressing Q and it'll go out the other side just like this. And now we have our little tower building. So what we can actually do here is select these, and instead of pressing Q, we press E, and it'll make a floor for us. So this is extruding the cubes and making new ones. So we now have a building with 2 doors, and we have a floor. And what I want to do, I want to make a staircase. So I'm going to select these and press Q again. That basically gets rid of them. And now we have a space for our staircase. So as you can see, it took probably under a minute to create this building with windows and stairs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 4 cubes up and press E a couple of times to extrude, and now we have another floor. So now we have a building with 2 floors and a set of stairs ready. Let's make another set of stairs by highlighting all these and pressing Q, and go 4 squares up once again. I'm just going to press E to make a new floor. Sweet, so that was pretty simple, and what I want to do is cut out 1 more staircase, and then after this we're going to actually add the staircases. So once again, press Q and it'll delete the floor, or delete the cubes that we've highlighted in. So if we just press accept now, this will save it all, and it is one big static mesh. As you can see, we can just like move it around. So that's pretty cool. If we just press play, this is my character for our GTA series that I'm going to be releasing. If you want to look at that, have a little look on my channel, and we will be learning how to create all the stuff in GTA, but that's a little bit off topic. So as you can see, we have our building, and if we just go back to the modeling mode, you can actually just click where it says selection mode, or you can press Shift and 5. So instead of clicking cube grid, I clicked the stairs, and we can just drag these in just like this, and we can change the width, height and depth. So if we just do this and position it somewhere like this, we can actually add our little staircase, and obviously this will not let our character walk up properly. So let's just change these settings right here and position it somewhere in the corner. Doesn't really matter because we can actually move this once it's placed. So that looks good to me. And see this little wheel thing? We can actually just move it to the side and move it back a little bit, just like that. And when we click play, I can go into here and try and walk up the stairs, but it won't work. So obviously we have to actually jump up, and that's not great. So what we need to do is add more steps. But before I do that, I just want to add a light because it is pretty hard to see here with all the exponential fog or whatever it is in the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little plus arrow with the cube next to it, just on the top bar here. Go to lights, and then add a spotlight. So let's just click this. I'm just going to drag it up a little bit to the left in the corner of the map, or the corner of the room, sorry, and then we will change the intensity to the max. Okay, so what I did, I basically just duplicated that light a couple of times onto different floors, and now I want to re-add the steps. So I've just deleted them, and I'm going to go to stairs, and we're just going to click anywhere here, just general location. I'm going to mess around with all these settings. So as you can see, the step height, the width, and the depth, I'm just going to mess with all these, and if you just use this little gizmo here, you can actually position the steps in the map. So just like that. That looks pretty good, but obviously it's not high enough. And in Unreal Engine, when you try and walk up steps with a character, you will find that it's basically quite glitchy. So it's better to add more steps. So let's add a lot more here, and then we need to change the width and the height back down because we've added more steps, just like this, and that is looking much better, and it'll be easier for our character to just walk up. So let me just get my camera in place, and we're just going to carry on messing around with these values. That actually looks pretty good as 20, so we'll do that, and if we just press accept, that'll confirm it, and we can actually play, and let's have a look. There we go, so we actually have some working steps. So I skipped ahead a little bit, I just duplicated these steps onto different levels. Now we're going to extrude a door, so we're going to select them and press Q. That'll push it and remove the cubes that we selected, and then what we're going to do is select this row of cubes and press E to extrude, and this will create us a little platform. And now I'll show you some other stuff that we can actually do in this modeling mode in case you want to fine tune your level. So as you can see, we have our little tower, and we have a platform, doors, steps, and a couple of openings. So once again, let's go into our modeling mode and make sure the tab's still up. We're going to go to cube grid, and we're just going to select these cubes right here, and we're going to press E to extrude. Now we have our little cube, we can actually do something pretty cool with this. So if we just select some of the face cubes, just like this, and we click corner mode, we can actually select 2 of the points on the corner, and they will turn yellow. And once we've done that, we can press E on our keyboard, and we can extrude it, and it will make a little ramp because it's pulling out from the 2 bottom points, just like that. So click accept and accept again. We have another stag mesh, just like that, and a little ramp that our player can walk up to. And you might notice that a lot of these corners are very sharp, and none of them are rounded, and we can actually fix that, which I'll show you in a minute. Let's just give you a little tour of our new little home. As you can see, all the steps are working, and we have our little ramp. Right, okay, so I'm going to show you how to smooth some of these corners. So if we go to modeling mode and select one cube, click corner mode, select 1 point, we can actually press E or Q, and it'll either push the cube or pull the cube, just like this. And as you can see, when we pull the cube, it kind of like pulls the corner out. So if we click done, select a different one, do the exact same, corner mode, select 1 point right on the corner and press E, it'll extrude it again or pull it, and we have these cool little pointy corners. So now we made the pointy corners, I'm going to show you how to smooth the edges of a block of cubes. So just like this, if we select the front 3 corners and press Q, it'll basically smooth them out because it only keeps one corner up and flattens the other 3. So what I'm going to do is flatten the next 3 cubes by clicking corner mode, selecting 2 front corners just like this and pressing Q on the keyboard, and that'll give us this like diagonal cube. In fact, actually I want this 3rd cube to be a little bit different because I want it to look smooth all around the edges. So if I just click cancel and press Ctrl Z on my keyboard, I can just undo it, select the front 2 and then the front 2 corners as well, press Q, there we go, and now we'll just do this cube on its own. So corner mode, and we'll select all 3 corners here on the outside and press Q, and as you can see, it kind of like gives us like a smooth edge around the side. So let's just do the exact same, just like this, and this corner as well. So 1, 2 and 3. and we'll press Q, just like that. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, and then the last 2 cubes on the outside. So corner mode, 1, 2, Q, and now you can see it is not looking as sharp, and it's kind of like smoothed all the way around. So that's looking pretty good. But I still think it's looking a little bit boring, so let's make it a little bit better and spice it up. So if we just click this 1 cube here, do the corner mode again, and we select 2 of the corners and press Q, it'll bring it in. And let's do the same for the other one, but the opposite 2 corners, just like that. Press Q, it gives us a little bit of variation, just like that. Now if you was to do this, you can actually select both cubes, but you can't pick the corners, so we have to do this one by one. As you can see, if I just do this, and it'll just push it away. So let's cancel that and do the cubes one by one. So corner mode, select the 2 inside corners, corner mode again, do the exact same, and now it's looking a little bit better. It's kind of looking like that statue that's in ancient Egypt. Now I'm going to show you how quickly you can bring this to life. So let's open our Quixel Bridge by clicking on Window and Quixel Bridge. We're just going to find a brick-like texture. I have one already downloaded. This is the concrete pavement, so we can just use this. Really doesn't matter, just trying to give it a little bit of life. And let's just drag it on, simple as. And we'll drag it onto each individual mesh, just like this. So select it, drag it on. And if we go inside, we still need to do the steps and floors. So I will skip ahead when I've done that. So now we've given it a little bit of life, but there's one thing I do want to change, and every building pretty much has windows. So we're going to create some windows, and you can actually create really unique styles of windows using this exact same method. So what we're going to be doing is changing the cube size, and we're going to do a load of small different windows and maybe do some patterns. So I will show you how to do that, and it looks kind of cool with the light coming through as well. So I've just gone into the modeling mode again and changed the cube power to 1, and this will just give us a smaller cube size. And if we just select these and press Q on our keyboard, you will see what happens. So let me just cancel this, and I'm just going to select the mesh first so I can actually make changes to it. And we'll just select a portion here and press Q, and as you can see, it moves the cube in by 1. Now we need to press this a few times to actually go through it, and we have now created a nice window. But it's pretty boring, and I want to add some variation and show you how you can like stylize your own buildings. So let's just do a couple of small ones, and I will fast forward. So we have to press Q quite a few times just to actually get it through the wall though, just keep that in mind. So I've added a couple of windows, and now I've just done like a straight line, and we're going to make this like a really thin like gap in the wall, and we're just going to press Q a bunch of times until we actually carve through the wall. And as you can see, it's like bringing some light through. If I show you inside this room, you will actually be able to see it a lot better. So let's just select one line just like this and press Q a bunch of times. We can now start to see the light peeking through, and obviously if you was outside and it was light and then you came into the building which was like really dark, I think this could add some depth to the level. And there's a lot of ways to experiment with this kind of stuff, but I think this was pretty cool. So I've just skipped ahead after messing about with the map a little bit more, just added textures to every single static mesh in the building, added some gaps in the wall just like this, and as you can see it looks pretty cool. Let's just go up to the top and have a look around. In fact, actually, let's look through these windows. Oh, weird gaps in the wall. And where we have our window that we created earlier, another little gap in the wall. And we have our ramp with all our little architecture around it. So yeah, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something and enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.